Hello, and welcome to another video. In this video, we go over SWTOR. We have a 2-man pre-made, or maybe 3-man pre-made on our team. We do not have a healer. We do have a tank, but it decides to play objectives. The enemy team has a tank healer combo, and I want to say 4 DPS, and they're about like the 5-6 main group, roughly, give or take. Somebody, I don't actually know. I just know that they were in queue. They played over on Still Sean. I think it was the Bones group, I guess, I don't know. He was streaming over on Still Sean, and I saw that he was on SF, and I was like, alright, well, this is a perfect situation. It's one, they're playing all melee, 2, they look fun to queue into, and 3, I haven't really had an engineering game where I was able to actually play the game. Well, I guess play the game is subjective, obviously. When I'm killing everybody too fast, I just complete the stomp and kill people, and I just my burst GCDs. I'm not able to do like a single target sustained rotation even for more than one loop. I consider that not really playing the game. I consider those games really boring. That's pretty much 90% of my engineering games. I don't really have to do anything because everybody just dies too fast. So this is what I mean by playing the game. I'm actually able to do AoE, I'm actually able to do single target, I'm actually able to just pretty much do whatever I want. And I am free casting here. But even if I wasn't free casting, it would still be a good game for me because it would allow me to actually push things. I'd be able to see its defensive power, I'd be able to see its offensive power, rather than just nuking people over and over and not being able to really do anything, because the only thing there is to do is nuke. Because after, I use a special charge sabotage combo, they're dead. When I use series of shots, or I use speed shot, and then they're pretty much dead. And then, go on to the next person, do the same thing, dead. Rinse, repeat, dead. And it's just okay. In this game, people actually survive that, which allows me to go into single target sustained priority, but also at the same time there's a lot of AoE, so I'm able to mix in the AoE. So this was pretty fun for me. Definitely the game kind of needed to understand its AoE a little bit better, but also at the same time understand its heat management too a little bit better, and kind of how this tactical interacts. Previously, even in 6.0, I didn't bother to play this tactical. I didn't even bother to play this class, like almost at all in 6.0. I did play a little bit of dirty fighting near the end, but that was it. So the last time that I, in theory, played engineering in a game that isn't completely curb stomp was 5.0. So this was refreshing and something new for me. So I was more than happy to queue into this big group. With my smaller group on my team, they're pretty much kamikazing into the team because they just want to fight. It's understandable, and that's pretty much how I play too. But also at the same time, hey, I'm in the situation where I'm the free casting range. I need to capitalize on this. I need to make their sacrifice worth something. And it's really nice to have the roles reversed for once, because usually on the front line, I'm usually the person that gets told first because I'm melee and they take me out. And I'm also just, in their face, making sure that they don't get to do what they want to do. So therefore, they pretty much have to hit me. I'm used to being the front line. So to me, again, this is refreshing. I'm able to do the free casting that, usually somebody on my team gets to do because they're too busy hitting me. And usually those free casting DPS don't actually end up doing anything. So it's really disheartening sometimes. So I'm happy to, at the very least, do something with what they've done. I wish games were more like this because this would be pretty fun, but for the most part, this is a lucky situation. It's a great map, and they happen to be pretty much all melee, which is another great thing. And outside of like that, obviously I'm very well aware I'm lucky, but at the same time, even if I wasn't lucky, let's say we got Void Star or something, I still think this would be probably a pretty good game. It's still pretty high damage, mostly just because they're all melee. And even if they did have to hit me, they would pretty much get trapped in my diversion, they would get trapped in my roll route, they'd be trapped in AoE a lot, so therefore it'd still be very fun. Outside of that, basically to explain what I'm doing outside of just doing my single target rotation. So ability on C, shock charge, which is a slow, and it's a vital dot, and it does a lot of damage. So you apply that to somebody, And then Vital Shot, which is Q. That increases damage of your abilities. And go at 6 plus charge. Obviously, if you're an opener, you can use 6 plus charge first into the other 2. Then go into series of shots slash speed shot, which will proc your relics. Go immediately to sabotage for maximum damage with auto crit. That's kind of like the TLDR, and then obviously into thermal grenade because you get the proc for it. And then we have 3 different AoEs: Sleeping Gunfire, Incendiary Grenade, and Bombing Run. These abilities are kind of like separate from your rotation, and it's best to think of it that way so you don't get confused and don't obviously overspam Incendiary Grenade. Don't always need Incendiary Grenade on your target, so definitely keep that in mind. Sometimes you want to put it on the objective. So for example, if you're playing a Destined Proving Grounds or Voidstar, put it on the node and or the door, or wherever there is AoE. Let's say if you have to, hit somebody back that's hitting you, you just do your normal single try rotation without Incendiary Grenade on somebody, and then have the AoE on the group of people or the objective. You get way more value out of your AoEs that way, and it'll also make the spec a lot more straightforward, I guess you could say. When you try to use Incendiary Grenade all the time, or you try to overuse it, you'll end up just wasting too much energy. You'll have energy issues all the time, and a lot of times you won't be able to get your things off in a good amount of time because you've wasted too much time trying to get the AoE down. So basically, a good explanation of your AoE is to set it and forget it for the most part outside your Sleeping Gunfire. Now, as for defensive gameplay, I'm not playing defensively. I'm just kind of abusing the map, and outside of just abusing the map, I'm also at the same time trying to pressure as much as I can. And the more that I can get them on the back foot, the safer I'll be, and the better my team will be able to do. So if I'm able to pick off people, if I'm able to pressure more, or just make it a nuisance, make it hard for them to do whatever they want, the better. I should have been using diversion more often. However, I didn't want to make my presence too annoying, because then, somebody would probably be dedicated to coming and messing me up. Now, obviously, in hindsight, there are things you can do better after you watch a match that you've played. Diversion stuff like one of them. And also, if you are playing a different class besides Gunslinger, abusing your spawn is better. If you go on this pipe, you can be level 2. Just keep that in mind. You can also get knocked off very easy. So like jump and overload, somebody can force push you. So if you are playing a different class, definitely abuse your spawn more because it has an anti-loop built into it. The pipe does not. And here our team pretty much just gets a score for free. They do try to come up the ramp here, but it doesn't really do them any good because they just kind of get melted here. You also have a situation in this map, which is very interesting. When you go onto the pipe, which I was on earlier, underneath middle, you can jump back on that little platform. And once you're on that platform, you can jump back up on the platform. If you're ever in a crush hell ball and there's nothing to do, and you're not stealth, obviously, you can practice that jump, and it's very good to practice the jump, especially as a range player, and especially if you're a range main. It's still good to know on melee too. Obviously, you don't want to be slowed, because if you're slowed, you're not going to be able to make it. But also, you don't want to be too fast, because you can hit your head when you're trying to make the jump. So it is something that you need to practice a little bit. It's definitely something super nice, especially if somebody jumps up on the pipe with you to hit you. If you actually end up making that jump, chances are they might fall down trying to follow you and or just give up. Then another thing, especially about this map, which a lot of people don't do, and I think it's just kind of like a forgotten thing nowadays, the speed, move speed buffs, and the damage buffs, less so the damage buffs, but more so the movement speed buffs. There's a lot of them on this map, and they're relatively easy to get. They're usually not taken, and it's definitely really good to take them. And then obviously the 4 little podiums, I guess you could say, underneath the ramps. Those are also another nice place to be. And if you guys have any questions about SWTOR or engineering, feel free to leave them in the comments. More than happy to help you out. And other than that, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.